What's going on, everybody? Prophecy Wiz, and today I'm going to show you guys 5 Melodious combos, and I can guarantee there are going to be combos in this video you've never seen. So if you guys like this video, please be sure to like and subscribe, as well as check out my Twitch link below, where I stream every Monday through Friday. Let's get right into it. Alrighty, so one of the things that I think is definitely important to know with the Melodious deck is that there are definitely different combo lines you're going to want to take depending on what deck you're playing against. So I'm going to show one of those right now, and then kind of explain how I would play this differently against different decks. So if I'm playing against either the Pure Fiendsmith deck or the YuGiOh deck, and I open Atinado, this is how I'm going to play that. So I'm going to activate the Atinado, I'm going to dump the Soprano and the Refrain, and then I'm going to special summon the Baka. The Baka is going to activate to special summon the Shapina. We're going to activate the Shapina, add the Refrain. Normal summon the Refrain, activate the effect to search for Couplet. We're going to activate the Couplet effect because it was added to hand, reveal it, special summon the Soprano from the graveyard. And what we're going to do here is we're going to activate the Couplet for the Concerto. It's important to do it in this order so that you can also resolve the draw off the Concerto later on in the combo. We're now going to activate the Concerto, and we're going to send the Shapina and both of the Pendulums into the Etoile. So if you notice, this right here was our 5th summon, so now we've played around Nib. We're going to trigger both of the scale effects. We're going to place them both. Then we're going to activate Refrain in the scale. Target, we target the Etoile here, but it doesn't really matter which you target. And we're going to go ahead and dump the Sonata. So what we're going to do from here is we are going to go ahead and activate the Soprano to summon a Shiberta. Please note that the zone placement in these combos is pretty important. Then what we're going to do here is trigger Baka as Chain Link 1, and then trigger the Concerto as Chain Link 2. We're going to draw. I just took an imperm to show like a random draw. Obviously, if you draw different combo cards, it can change the combo. But you're just going to draw a random card off the Concerto. And then we're going to go ahead and summon the Shapina back. We're going to activate the Shapina for Soprano. Note the zone placement here is very important. You're going to Pendulum summon the Soprano. Activate the effect to add Sonata from the graveyard that you had dumped off the Refrain scale effect. We're going to special summon that Sonata. Then we're going to summon send the Shapina and the Sonata into the Bloom Harmonist. So now these two zones are free, and we left the Soprano. We're going to activate the Bloom, discard whatever random draw we got, or obviously if you have doubles of hand traps and you drew something else, you could discard whatever. It doesn't really matter. And we're going to special summon Aria and Couplet here. Then what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and activate Soprano and use itself and the Couplet to summon a second copy of Shiberta. So just off the one card Atinado, 0 other cards in hand, we got to put up Etoile, 2 copies of Shiberta on the Aria lock. This combo is really good, obviously, into the YuGiOh deck and into the Pure Fiendsmith deck, and various other decks, but I think it's important to note you also can special summon a second copy of the Sonata from the Bloom Harmonist instead of the Couplet, and then use the Soprano to fusion into the second copy of Shiberta with itself in the Bloom Harmonist, so that you'll also have all of your guys boosted by 500. The reason I don't do that is because then it makes your board Typhonable really fast because of the Etoile. So that's the reason I don't do that, but that is an option depending on the situation. It's just then they can normal summon into Typhon, and that kind of sucks. So just letting you guys know that that is an option there. And yeah, now let me show you guys how I would like to play this into the Malice deck, the second best deck of the format. Alrighty, so this next line is also an Atinado combo, but I think this one's super important, and I've never seen somebody do this like this before. So I think this is really important to note because this is how I choose to play this combo into the Malice deck if I know they're playing Malice. I also would play this against Labyrinth and various other decks, depending on the situation. You should be able to make that determination. So what we're going to do here is we're going to Atinado. We're going to dump the same two. We're going to dump the Soprano and the Refrain. We're going to special summon the Baka. We're going to activate the Baka. We're going to use the Shapina. We're going to add back the Refrain. We're going to normal summon it. Activate the effect for Couplet. Couplet effect. Declare and reveal. We're going to summon back the Soprano. Activate the Couplet. get the concerto, activate the concerto, send the 3 into a 12. That's our 5th summon, so now we've played around Nib. We activate both of the scale effects. Now what we're going to want to do here is we're going to activate the soprano, send itself and Baka into Schiberta. Then we activate the Baka and the concerto, draw a random card, summon back the Chapina. We're going to activate the refrain to target the Etoile to dump the Sonata. They're not going to ogre this because it would have just ogred couplet before that. So you can do this before or after you fusion summon the Schiberta. It doesn't really matter, same thing. Then we're going to activate the Chapina to add back the soprano. A pendulum summon the soprano. We're going to activate the effect to add back Sonata. And then what we're going to do here is we're going to link those two off into Herald of Mirage Lights. So what's really cool about this combo is against decks that either Spell and Trap Negate is going to be really good against, or the non-targeting is not as important. Like Malice, they become more dependent on spells and traps, and they have non-targeting interruptions. So I tend to favor this board. What's cool is you not only get to summon the Herald of Mirage Lights, but you get to add a fairy and keep your draw. So you have 6 cards. Like at this point, you have 6 cards in your hand, and you got to put up the full field. So I thought that was really cool, and is definitely the way that I choose to play that. Like I said, against Malice, against Labyrinth, and I think it's just important to keep in mind that the combo can play out this way rather than just do the same standard combo every time, because I think this is a lot better. Alrighty, so for the next combo, I'm going to show you guys when I'm going first how I played the first movement solo with the refrain. I think a common misconception with this combo is that the appropriate way to play this going first is to summon Aria and then normal summon the refrain to play through Imperm Valor, etc. However, actually, I think that that's incorrect. I think that people either did that because that's how you play it going second, or because they just followed what other people were doing, not because it's actually the appropriate way to play it. My personal problem with that play is that if you go first movement, summon Aria, and then normal summon refrain, go ahead and go for couplet. For starters, sometimes people will let the refrain resolve, or will let like the first movement solo resolve, just in case you have like Asado or something in the hand, or if you already hard opened the refrain, and then are just going to ash the refrain or the couplet. And if they do have the couplet or the refrain, like you're going to have to link away that Aria anyways. And additionally, if you do summon the Aria there, you're going to have to normal summon refrain, go ahead and go for the couplet, get the concerto, summon Baka. But the problem here is like Baka can summon soprano, but then soprano, if it wants to summon the Etoile, is going to have to send away the Aria. And if you summon Chapina, you can't add anything back from the graveyard because you can't dump it with refrain. So what it's going to force you to do is go into the Link 2. And the problem with that is that essentially any way that you shake it, even if you go ahead and like go refrain and like don't get the couplet right away and then get an extender and then summon the Link 2 and then summon before you summon the Baka, you're playing super hard into Nib. So like if you make the Aria play off the first movement solo, you're just going to get absolutely chokeslammed by Nib. And so you can get slammed a lot harder by like Ash and another hand trap then if they do have it on like the refrain of the couplet. So what I decided was a lot better is to go first movement for soprano, because Aria plays around Imperm Valor, right? But like if we normal summon a refrain here, activate the effect, and it gets Imperm Valor, it really doesn't matter because you just go soprano effect, send the 2 of these off into Baka and still just play anyways. And then if they like imperm this and then imperm this, they've thrown 2 imperms and you can still send the 2 of these into the Link 2 and play. So I think that still plays through Imperm Valor, but it also just plays around every other hand trap way better. So obviously from here, we're going to go ahead and grab couplet effect for concerto effect, use the 2 scales for Baka, then go ahead and go Baka effect, chain link 1, chain link 2, 3 for the scales. Baka is going to go ahead and summon the Chapina. We're going to activate the refrain, target the Baka, dump the Aria, activate the Chapina. We're going to add back the Aria. So now we have summoned 4 times so far. Now here we're going to be able to activate the soprano on our 5th summon the Etoile. So now we've played around Nib here, and we've played around all the other hand traps as well, because obviously if they would have just like ashed the first movement solo, you could still just like play with the refrain, but if they do ash or imperm value the refrain, you still just play anyways in this combo. Now what we're going to do is go Chain Link 1 Baka, Chain Link 2 the Concerto, put the Concerto to the bottom, draw a random card. Like I said, I just, you know, symbolizes the imperm as like whatever random draw, because if you do draw a different combo piece, you can always change combos, obviously. And then what we're going to do is special summon back the Shapina, add back the Soprano. Here we're going to Pendulum Summon the Aria and the Soprano. Soprano's going to be able to send back the Baka. In this particular, in my most recent version, I've been playing only 2 copies of Baka, because I think if you become well-versed and skilled with the deck, you only need 2, so it's nice to be able to recycle it in this combo. Then we're going to go ahead and activate the Soprano and summon the Shiberta. So here we have the Etoile, the Shiberta, and the Aria, and we played really well around hand traps, as well as got a draw. So it was 2 cards we used, but we used the 2 cards to be able to really efficiently play around all hand traps, and we drew a card to replace one of the cards. So I think that's the most efficient way to play this combo, and let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Alrighty, everybody. So now I'm going to move on to my favorite 2-card combo with the deck. Atinado and either Soprano or Refrain do the exact same combo. It's 100% the same, so I'll show you guys that now. If you guys ever open these combination of cards, I would highly suggest doing this against any deck. So what you're going to want to do is Atinado. If you open the Soprano, you're going to want to dump the Couplet and the Refrain. If you open a Refrain, you're going to want to dump Couplet and Soprano, obviously, so that you have all the pieces. We're going to go ahead and summon Baka. We're going to activate the Baka effect, and then we're going to summon the Shapina. Here we're going to go ahead and activate the Shapina. We're going to add the Couplet to the hand. We're going to declare and reveal the Couplet, and then we're going to special summon back the Refrain. In the other line, we're just going to special summon the Soprano, obviously, if we opened the Refrain, and then we'll end up normal summoning which one we didn't special summon there. So we're going to activate the Refrain effect, and we're going to search for Aria here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to activate the Couplet, search for Concerto, and then we're going to activate the Concerto. We're going to send both of the Pendulum Scales and the Shapina. Well, obviously, the Refrain's not a Pendulum Scale yet, but both the Pendulum Monsters and the Shapina. So we can summon a Etoile. That's going to be our 4th summon there. We're going to activate both of the Scales. We're going to activate the Refrain. We're going to target the Etoile. It doesn't really matter if we target Baka or Etoile here, though. We're going to go ahead and dump a copy of Sonata. Then we're going to normal summon the Soprano. Activate the effect to fusion into Shiberta. Then we're going to go Baka Chain Link 1 and then the Concerto Chain Link 2. We're going to put it at the bottom, draw a random card from the deck. And then we're going to special summon back the Shapina. We're going to activate the Shapina to add back the Soprano. And we're going to Pendulum Summon the Aria and the Soprano. We're going to activate the Soprano effect to add back the Sonata. And then we're going to go ahead and link 2 into the Herald of Mirage Light. So this combo, obviously you get all of the things. You get to keep your draw off the Concerto, so it's a 2-card combo, but you get to draw a card to replace one of the cards, and you have 18 hand traps, so you're actually very likely to draw a hand trap off that. You get the Sonata to be able to use for your Herald of Mirage Lights, and then you get to have Etoile, Aria, and the Shiberta, so you get to have the main best combo line, and then you also get to have the Herald of Mirage Lights and an additional draw. So I think that if you open that 2-card combo, I think that that's definitely the right way to play that out. So I definitely keep that in mind. And now hopping into the last combo. Alrighty, so I was in the Melodious group, and I seen a lot of people asking the question of what happens when you need to go into gravity control with Atinado. I think the short answer with that is if you have any other Melodious monster in hand, it should be pretty simple, because you can either special summon them, obviously, if they have a special summon effect, or condition rather, or normal summon and just summon the Link 2 and then just go crazy and finish the full combo, which should be pretty simple. I can show that if you guys want to see that in another video, please let me know. But if you do open just Atinado and a bunch of hand traps, which could happen because you're playing a lot of hand trap deck, you're going to dump the regular things, you're going to summon the Baka, and then say the Baka gets impermed. What you're going to do is send the Baka into Gravity Controller. We're going to activate the Baka, summon back the Refrain. We're going to activate the Refrain, add Couplet, activate Couplet effect, reveal, special summon back the Soprano. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to tribute summon the couplet over the gravity controller. We're going to activate the soprano to use itself and the couplet. Special summon Shiberta, activate the couplet effect in the scale. Activate couplet, or activate in the extra deck, I'm sorry. Activate now couplet in the scale, get the concerto. You can then activate the concerto, use all 3 monsters, and still just summon out the étoile. And then you get to activate the refrain and put it in the pendulum zone. So obviously it's not ideal, but it still does at least end you on étoile. And yeah, that is a way to still put up an interruption if all you had was the Atinado and you need to summon the gravity controller. Like I said, if you have any other Melodious monster, you can just send itself and Baka into the Link 2, and then go Chain Link 1, Link 2, Chain Link 2, Baka, and still kind of go crazy in the combo and win from there. But I've seen a lot of people wondering what you do in that combo. So obviously, if you have another Melodious monster, you're going to make the Link 2. But if you have no other monsters and you just open 4 Train Interrupts and Asado, you're still going to be able to put up the étoile with the refrain and the scale, the concerto to possibly get you some, get you a draw at some point if the étoile leaves via your opponent's card. And yeah, if you guys want to see any more videos like this, please drop it in the comment section below. If you guys are wondering about any other combo lines, please let me know. Let me know what kind of videos you guys want to see next. And I appreciate everybody's continued support. Please drop a like, comment, all that stuff. It helps so much. Subscribe if you're not already. And I will see you guys in the next one.